Associates Insurance, Phillips County Convention and Visitors Bureau, Ron Juneman at Family Eye Care, Amber Wave, American Family Insurance, Farmers National Bank, Phillips County Health Systems, Blossoms and Butterflies, Phillipsburg Chamber and Main Street, Trinity Ag LLC. And now, here's Tad Feltz.
Good morning, another Thursday morning, another Tadpoll coming your way here at 9 o'clock. It's warmer this morning than it's going to be tomorrow morning, I think. Ruby, we're having a cold front come through, maybe some rain. We'll keep our fingers crossed on that. Ruby Wiehman with us this morning to talk about a couple of things. She's going to bring us up to date on what's happening Sunday night at the 4-H building with the chili cook-off. Right. And then we're going to come back and also talk with Ruby about that night at the fort. I was out there. That was a great night. We're going to talk about that. Then Angie Wells will be on with all the things happening toward the end of this month in the city of Phillipsburg. And then Pete Rogers is going to come on, Phillips County Health Department. We're hearing a lot about COVID all of a sudden again. I'm going to get some questions answered by him on what to look out for and everything, so we're going to have him on the end of the show. But he missed it last week. He was busy, but I know we'll have him on this week. Are you ready if he doesn't make it again? You're ready? No. Come on. I had to bring Kim on. Okay, Ruby, thanks for coming on this morning. Let's go back a little ways to the night that Joel Heasterman was what made the wall, and what a night that was.
It was gorgeous. It was, everything just was in our favor. Mm-hmm. The weather was perfect. The people were great. The pies and the ice cream were great.
Oh, yes.
And to have rung the bell for the first time, for the public was a special honor. Mm-hmm. And I think Joel was the right person to do that.
Sure, sure.
So it was a great evening all in all. We had lots of people. We had 105 people sign our visitors book, sure. But there were a lot that did not sign. So we have no idea of the exact count, but it was great.
Homemade ice cream, of course, that's great ice cream, and of course the pies and everything. And then, of course, people were dressed in period, you know. I met Mrs. Bissell.
Yes. Mrs. Rebecca Bissell. She was Mrs. John Bissell.
And there we had Connie was there, and typically Connie, I mean, she went all out with her outfit.
She was Aim Cole, the hunter, and I was Fred Albright's daughter, Dolly. Mm-hmm. So that was my role.
Sure.
And then we had Cynthia, who was the teacher. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think, it was a funny name that we chose for her, but she was a teacher.
Sure.
And who else was there? And Dr. Mary, the first Dr. Mary, had to go and make a house call, so she was not available. Sure. The second Dr. Mary got sick, so we didn't have a Dr. Mary.
We didn't have a Dr. Mary there. Yeah. Well, okay, well that would have been great, and they were in the various
buildings.
Yeah.
Oh yes, we had Connie Hankey, who actually did the storekeeper, and then we also had Robin Chester, who played the role of her mother-in-law of the postmaster.
It was really great, and of course I mentioned Joel with his comments and everything, and then with the ringing of the bell. I've got a question.
Yes.
How far away can you hear that bell?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know.
You know what you ought to do? Someday you ought to get about 5 people to drive around town and park.
And say, now we're going to ring the bell.
At a given time, you ring the bell and see if they can hear it.
I guess it's going to go pretty far.
But I don't know if it affected a lot of people like me, but it really did affect me when that bell started ringing.
So many people commented. They said they had tears in their eyes when we rang the bell. So I do think it was emotional for many people.
Sure.
And for me, it was the culmination of getting the chapel there.
Sure.
Obviously, we still have to do the inside, so there's still a lot of work to be done. But at least, the visible it's there for people to see. It changes the landscape.
Sure.
So many people have commented that when you come from Norton, you know, the fort was just the fort. This is now with the chapel there, it just looks so beautiful.
Sure.
So,
oh yeah. So, and I've mentioned this before. I grew up in Garden City. On Sunday morning, a lot of churches
bells.
had bells. You hear them all over town. You know,
Right.
It's amazing. Okay. And where did the bell come from? Have we ever talked much about the bells? Because you know you were having trouble
Doyle
finding
Bowl
one.
must still tell me the story. I know he went as far as eastern Kansas to get the bell from somebody that he knew there. Originally, the bell came from La Crosse. So I'm not sure what the history is. We just know that it
Sure.
came from La Crosse. That's as much as we know.
Wow, but it
Where
has
it
a beautiful
was,
tone.
which church, we don't know. But we know Doyle's dad was there the other day, and he says, well, Doyle brought one home for himself. He's got another one at his house as well. So, yeah, I think he got caught onto the church bell thing.
Yeah, but you know, I don't know. It's amazing. The tone and everything is just
It's a
perfect.
cast iron bell.
Okay.
34-inch diameter. So it's the bigger the diameter of the bell, obviously it changes the sound.
Okay.
And then between a brass bell and a cast iron bell, you also have different sounds. But it's good. It's a pioneer church. We're happy with what we've got.
Does it have on there when it was made or where?
I'm doing a bit of research on it, so I
Okay.
don't have the exact dates. It doesn't say it on it. It just says who the manufacturer was, and I can't remember right now who the manufacturer is. So
Okay. Well, let's
I
just hope
didn't expect you to ask me about the bell today. So
let's hope that ringing sometime you'll crack it. Let's hope it doesn't.
it must not crack. No,
Okay.
no.
Okay. All right. Now, coming up this Sunday night, what's happening out at the forest?
Sunday night, yes, you know, so Night at the Museum was the date that we originally would have had our chili cook-off, always the last week in September. Then we moved it forward because it clashed with another event. But the chili cook-off, we actually moved it to November so that the weather can be cooler, because we've had hot weather for chili
yes,
cook-off night.
yes.
So we thought it would be more weather appropriate. And I think the last that I saw, the weather says 67 degrees on Sunday evening, so which is great. That's much more chilly-like. And so we've got a firm 7 teams. If anybody else still wants to enter, we have space for one more.
Wow.
So for an 8th team, but so 7 teams. They will all cook their chili, and then we will also have one non-chili, you know, sort of a gluten-free type of thing for those that cannot or don't want to eat chili. Sure. So we have that, you know, we cater for everybody. We will have home-baked cinnamon rolls as well.
Wow.
We are going to have a silent auction, and Roger Cooper is going to come and present the music. So
who is going to
Roger Cooper.
Oh, okay. Wow.
So it can only be fun. So
What time does it start?
5 o'clock.
5 o'clock.
At the 4-H building, north of town, and until about 7 o'clock.
It's a
Or
free-
until the chili runs out.
Yeah. Okay, now, do they make enough chili for other, or how's that work?
Okay, so every team makes about 1 to 2 roasters full of chili. You pick up your tray when you come in, and every team will give you a cup of their chili. Everybody gets the same
okay.
amount of chili to taste. The cups are numbered for the team, and then you get voting tickets on the table, and you decide what is your. So we have 2 categories. We have People's Choice, which we have every year, which is like the most popular. And then our chili category this year is Wagon Master. So whatever you think is closest to Wagon Master, but it's sort of, nobody really looks at it. They decide, okay, first and second or whatever.
Wow.
And then we also will give a prize for the best decorated table.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
All right, okay.
And it's free will donation.
donation.
Free
okay.
will
Wow.
donation. And, you know, we say 5 o'clock, but we find that people start lining up at 4:30, and then the teams are not ready, and the musician isn't ready. But we'll cater for all
Sure.
of it.
Well, and that's when people show up early around here,
Right.
don't they? Yeah.
And the more the merrier.
Sure.
What is nice about the 4-H building, it's a beautiful big building. We have enough electrical outlets. We also have beautiful parking out there. You know, with the fort
yeah.
we had to give that up because we ran out of space. We couldn't cater for so many teams. You know, we could do like 4 or 5 teams, but we don't have that space. So it's grown. This is going to be the 9th year we are doing it.
Wow.
We missed out on 1 year due to COVID. It would have been number 10, but it's the 9th year, so still going strong.
And just show up at, and, you can come over if you want, but I mean, the the thing is,
we will have it all.
5 o'clock.
Yeah, we'll have it all ready and set up and decorated. So voting tickets will be on the table. As I said, if anybody wants to sign up as a friend of the fort, we'll also have sign-up sheets for that.
Sure.
And as I said, free will donation, but we also have a silent auction going on.
Okay, well, okay.
And we want to say thank you to all the businesses in Phillips County who have donated gifts and prizes for both silent auction and for prizes for the teams. They have been so generous, and we really want to say thank you to them.
I have Angie on. She always talks about how, and there are quite a few people see them because they're always in a lot of things are involved,
Yes.
a lot of prizes.
Yeah, I think the businesses, we have to commend them because everybody knocks on their door. There's always a donation or helping out or something. So we have a beautiful community that are always, generous to help us.
I'm on the community foundation, and we have prizes too, and the merchants are all seen.
Right.
We get,
Good.
so it's you again,
Yeah.
but that's what makes the community great. Is
Right.
everyone going on. And we'll ask Angie how Halloween went. That's always a wild time.
That's a wild time, yeah.
Spectacular thing. Okay, so how was the summer? Was it?
The summer was good. When we added all the people that visited the night at the fort, we exceeded all the years the number of visitors.
Wow.
So it's been a good year. It was a hard year, with the gas prices.
Oh yes.
Less people traveled, I think, and we usually get the people traveling on Highway 36. So I think we took a bit of a nosedive there, but we made up with the other events.
Okay. So what happens after Sunday?
After Sunday, we will, in 2 weeks' time, we will close, we'll literally close the fort.
Sure.
And we'll cover all the exhibits. They all go to sleep for winter, hibernate.
Yeah.
And then basically nothing happens until next year, springtime, when we will start with cleaning up. And then the school tours start, and then we open the doors, Memorial Weekend, and we rock and roll it again.
You have any other plans to build anything?
No, not to build it. No, we've just had the Mercantile's roof has just been reshingled. We've done a lot of maintenance this year as well. And, we had the school painted, we've had the 2 log cabins we had chinked, and we've put on another roof, we've built the chapel, it's a lot.
It's been many times.
It's a lot.
Okay, well, it's great, and like I said, the bell, if you need anyone to drive somewhere and listen for the bell, look me up.
I'll hit you up.
I'll be glad to do that. I'd like to know if the whole town can hear it. I really would like
It will be interesting, but you'd have to do it like on a Sunday morning when everything is quiet.
Right.
Yeah.
And you have, at 10 o'clock on Sunday morning we do it, and you're listening. I can hear it there. So.
Yeah, that sounds
not
good.
wind, because the wind would blow it one way.
Right.
Okay, all right.
You don't want the wind to play a role.
All right, so so that's this Sunday night, 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock. 4-H building, free will donation.
Be sure to turn your clock back 1 hour so you aren't there an hour early or an hour late.
Right.
How that works. Okay, Ruby.
We'll cater for that too.
Okay.
That's fine.
Ruby, thank you.
Thank
it's
you,
great.
Ted.
You've been great to the community and everything.
Thank you.
To Kerwin and a lot of Facebook things you have on there on a Ruby Tuesday morning.
Yes.
Have you ever gone to a Ruby Tuesday restaurant? Or
Yes,
maybe
I have
you
in
one
New
time?
York. I've been to the one on Times Square.
Okay, I have too.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay, wow. They used to have one at Kearney. You had a Ruby Tuesday right off the highway.
Okay.
And I don't know whether it's still there or not.
Okay, I don't know.
I've been up there for. Okay, thank you, Ruby.
Thank
we'll
you,
be
Ted.
talking to you again. We'll
Thank
see you
you.
Sunday night for chili. Okay?
I hope I see you there.
All right,
Okay.
Angie Wells is with us to talk about what's coming up. We're going to ask her about Spooktacular and how that went, and it's a busy month again for Angie. We'll talk with Angie after we take this break.
In our area, ranching and farming are more than just jobs. They represent family traditions and a way of life. They are an essential part of our community. At First National Bank and Trust, community is what matters most. From agriculture to education, we support those who make our community one to be proud of and a place to call home. First National Bank and Trust, where community matters most.
We're here for you.
The experienced and professional team at Coombs Trucking takes pride in providing the most efficient and reliable service to our customers. From hauling to towing, our fleet of quality trucks and drivers continue to deliver safely and on time. Our team is also proud to support your team. We're here for our Little Leaguers, area high school teams, and more. Coombs Trucking enjoys giving back to the community that has been so important to us for over 50 years.
Looking for something to do in Phillips County? Check out My Phillips County Online's event calendar. Have an event you'd like the community to know about? Go to myphillipscountyonline.com. Click on Events, then click on Add Your Event. Fill out the details and submit. Or just email your event information to news@mykansasonline.com. It's a free and easy way to share your event information.
At Rogers & Associates Insurance, we serve the Midwest. We offer home, auto, commercial, and farm insurance policies and provide solid options for life and health insurance. For those unexpected life events like hail, wind, deer crashes, fender benders, and the little things in between, we can help you ensure what matters most in your life. Let us help you design a plan that meets your needs and budget. Visit us online or call us at 1-800-569-0118 to learn more.
Check out My Phillips County Online's new sports section. Here, you'll find game results, pictures, and videos of your favorite Phillips County sports teams. We'll also keep you updated on area athletes that are competing at the collegiate level. MyPhillipsCountyOnline.com. Go take a look.
In our area, ranching and farming are more than just jobs. They represent family traditions and a way of life. They are an essential part of our community. At First National Bank and Trust, community is what matters most. From agriculture to education, we support those who make our community one to be proud of and a place to call home. First National Bank and Trust, where community matters most.
We're here for you.
The experienced and professional team at Coombs Trucking takes pride in providing the most efficient and reliable service to our customers. From hauling to towing, our fleet of quality trucks and drivers continue to deliver safely and on time. Our team is also proud to support your team. We're here for our Little Leaguers, area high school teams, and more. Coombs Trucking enjoys giving back to the community that has been so important to us for over 50 years.
Looking for something to do in Phillips County? Check out My Phillips.
And on the Tadpoll this morning, we're going to talk with Angie. I think you're Angie.
I think I am Angie, so some days I don't know.
I heard so many good comments about your grandson.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it was really great. We'll have to have him on before
Yes,
Christmas.
he is so sweet. I just love him to death.
All right, before we look at what's coming up the rest of this month, let's go back to what happened Monday night.
My goodness.
Spectacular.
There was tons of people around the square. A lot of the businesses said that they ran out of candy.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then other ones, they were on the list, but a lot of people just didn't go in, and it was kind of a hit and miss, all the way around. But we had hot dogs, and that was a lot of fun. We had apple cider. It was funny to watch some of the kids. They would grab the apple cider before we could tell them it was apple cider, and they would drink it, and they would eat. Ooh, they did not like apple cider.
They didn't know what apple cider was.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we had the witch. Tara was the witch in the event house, and that went really well. And she was funny because she had the apples this year. I didn't put them in the bags because I don't know if all kids like apples. So we did it different this year, and so she was pretty sweet. She put the apple in her hand, and she did a little spell over the apple, and some of the kids were like, "Oh!" But it was pretty cute. So
that's great.
It was neat. But we had a lot of help, and it was a lot of fun.
Well, that's great. And of course, I was out driving around, and there were a lot of people a lot of kids out trick-or-treating. They don't do it as late as they used to, though. I don't know.
I had them till 9.
Yeah, did you?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I turn off my light
Sure
at
went
9.
right south of me, and I didn't have very many people stop.
I don't know. You gotta tell everybody what you're gonna serve, and so then they can come to you. And if you say those big giant candy bars, they're definitely gonna come see you.
Okay, that's for sure. Okay, so that was another great spectacular and everything, and I saw you the next day over at the house getting ready for Santa now.
Well, I was taking everything out from Halloween, and then I'll be putting stuff back for Santa.
Okay.
But we have, the first thing that we're going to have is Hometown Christmas Punch Card event. It's going to start November 14th to December 24th. And so that is where you go to. We have 18 businesses participating. And that's where you go in and you buy a present or just buy a gift, and then they punch the card, and then after your card's all filled up, then you're entered into a drawing.
Sure.
And we will have 7 prizes this year, maybe 8, just depending. I'm still working on that, but it's going to be a lot of fun. So,
You have a price list there? Or?
I'm still working on it.
Okay.
I don't want to say because it might change and it might.
Right.
Whatever, but
I'm sure you'll have you on here again to tell about it.
I'm sure you will.
Okay.
So that's going to be starting November 14th.
That's a great thing. Now, those 14. Now, do you have that? Do you want to mention those 14 yet?
Or the businesses, the 18 businesses? Yeah.
Or 18.
We have Faith and Wildflowers, Farmers and Ranchers Outlet, Westbrick Boutique, White's Food Liner, and for them, people get kind of confused. It's not for groceries, but it's for like all the other stuff that they have there.
Okay, sure.
Because if you ever walked into White's, you can see they have an aisle where they have, an ice cream maker, they have a chocolate thing, they have a whole bunch of different things. Yes, and sometimes they have coolers and all that stuff. So, I think a great Christmas present would be like a cooler and then put food in it.
Sure.
Here you go. You got it for the rest of your year, or beginning of your year. So Blossoms and Butterflies, Amber Salon and Spa, Next Tech, Majestic Theater, and that is where you go in and you get gift certificates. Now that is a great present for people. Great present for people. The Animal Hospital at the Crossroads, they have things like odor candles for the pets and different things like that. So, and lots of other stuff. Oz Brewery, so you can go in and get gift certificates. Whitmer's, Ace, Midwest Family Health, the Shepherd Studio. Have you been into Sally's lately? It used to be the Shepherd's Mill, and now it's a Shepherd Studio. So she's made it. It's awesome. Hair's to You, Hometown Grounds, Scott McCoppin Bookstore, and then Orscheln's. So we have lots of different ones that you can go in and get your cards punched and try to win for the drawing.
14th?
That starts the 14th.
Okay.
Yes.
So be sure you have the card. I've purchasing by phone and going to pick it up. They already have the cards ready for and everything.
I know. It's so great. It's just awesome.
All right. So that's one thing.
That's one thing. Then on November 25th, that is the day after Thanksgiving, we will have the celebration of lights that night, which will start at 5 p.m. around the big Christmas tree. And we'll have a whole bunch of different things going on that night. We have First National Bank and Blossoms and Butterflies and Mineral Right. They're going to do the hot dogs, so the hot dogs will be back. We're trying to, B&B is going to sponsor the hot chocolate, but we're going to try to find somebody that wants to make it for people.
Sure.
I just cornered Leighton, and he's going to do the FFA hay rack ride for us again. He did want to talk about that because that was a big thing. I texted him the next day and asked him how it went, and he said great. And I've heard nothing but great things about the hay rack ride. So I think they were pretty busy the whole time. Yes, he's shaking his head yes at me. And so I really appreciate it when the high school kids and the kids can help us out with things because it just means so much. So much to me, helps me so much. And it's just gets them involved.
They're part of the community, and they get a feeling that they're part of the community.
Yes, a big part of the community, and I couldn't do it without them. So I really appreciate them very, very much.
Okay.
Okay, so the next day is Small Business Saturday, November 26th, and that will be Sip and Shop. So from 9 to 11, and had it requested. Last year I did the orange juice and champagne, so that's the mimosas. Is that how it's called? Anyway, so I had that requested again, so I'm probably going to do that.
Okay. Wow.
And then Santa will be there both days, from 5 o'clock on November 25th and 9 to 11 on the 26th. Then we're going to have, are you tired of me yet?
No.
And then we're going to have business window contest, and that's going to start. We want all the windows decorated downtown or wherever, whoever wants to participate. I sent out an email and asking who wants to do this, and so please email me back so I can get you on the list so that you can be judged. That trophy is a Christmas tree that Science Solutions made, and it is our traveling business window contest thing. So they get to have this Christmas tree out on their cabinet or window, wherever they want it for the whole year. So if you want to decorate for a business window contest, let me know. That's going to be from November 25th to December 8th.
Now, is it in the window or in the store or anywhere?
In the window, so people can see.
Okay.
Yes. Then Santa letters will also start on November 25th to December 19th. You can write us, we'll have Santa's mailbox there by the event house. And, you know, so they get a letter from Santa, and that's pretty cool. But it has to be before December 19th so that it can, because you know, coming all the way from the North Pole, that takes a little while.
They're busy this time of year.
That's right, very, very busy.
On overtime.
Yes, and I do believe that on one of these days, we don't have the dates yet of when Santa's going to come to town because, you know, he's so busy.
Well, sure.
But I do believe that the Grinch is also coming to town one of those days. So
Grinch,
we'll the Grinch. So we'll let you know what day the Grinch is coming also.
But the Grinch, has he got the Christmas spirit when he comes, or is he still the old Grinch? Is he the new Grinch or the old Grinch?
I think that he's kind of growly at first, but then once he gets those little kiddos on his lap, he softens up. His heart gets really big, especially when, you know, my grandson gets on his lap. That's pretty special.
I can remember when the Grinch, in 1964, 65, was the first time it was on TV.
Really?
I remember both my boys watched it, and it's on all the time now, you know, the Grinch. It's one of my favorite things.
Yeah, they got different pictures, you know, different shows and stuff. So, yeah, the one that's like with Jim Carrey, that one's kind of scary, I think. But then we'll have the home decorating contest, and that will be December 9th through December 22nd. And so that one, you know, you decorate your house, and then you get a sign in your window, and people get to go by your house, and they'll text me on my phone and say, I vote for number 3.
Wow.
And then we'll add them all up, and then they get a gift.
Wow.
So what did I forget?
Well, I'm going to ask you a question. How, you know, you have a lot of pull to get Santa here 2 days. You know,
Santa's here a lot more than 2 days.
But I mean, for Thanksgiving, the 2 days after Thanksgiving. You must have, because he's probably busy, all right.
Well,
Macy's would probably rather have him, but he comes to Phillipsburg instead of Macy's.
I make some pretty good cookies.
Okay.
So yeah, no, I don't know. So those are just things going on, and I didn't mention that we are going to have a scavenger hunt the night of Celebration of Lights.
Oh, okay.
So we're going to, depending on how many businesses sign up, there'll be a word, a Christmas word, in each of the stores, and you have to go find that letter. And then they'll stamp it, and then you have to come find me, the Celebration of Lights, because I'll have something where I have to do for the scavenger hunt, and then you're entered into a drawing, and you get to win something. So, maybe bonus bucks where you get to go and spend at the stores, or a gift, or I don't know yet. So,
you know, I don't know if you were here yet when Ruby was talking about the great community we have here.
Yeah.
And how they help with everything, you know, and I don't know how you feel about that. It's really, you know, it's really, really good, and that's spectacular. That was something else, and
you know, and that's spectacular. That's a free event. That's the thing where the businesses pull together, and the Chamber and Main Street, and everybody pulls together and tries to make it fun for the kids and the school and just everything. And we just live in a great community. I mean, we have, the naysayers and the whatever, but I just think it's great. And we just need to focus on the good and the positive, and you know, just be happy.
Sure.
It's too short to be mad all the time. I mean, it's not good for us,
Okay.
right?
You want to come on maybe not next week or the week after that? Well,
Sure.
we'll talk to you about that.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
I don't. Let me see how next week looks, and
Okay.
I'll be looking.
Mhm.
I've got Mary Smith coming on. They're having a piano thing coming on. Also, Kelsey Piggeron's going to come on and talk about the veterans program they have here. So, and there's a couple other things I'll mention later. Okay, Angie,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yep, you're welcome.
All right, we'll be seeing you.
Okay.
Thank you. All right, we're going to see. Yep, Pete's here, so we're going to talk with Pete about some things in the health-wise in the county after we take this break.
At Phillips County Health Systems, patient-centered excellence is more than a goal. It's a mission. And that's why we continue to be one of the top critical access hospitals in the country. We care for members of our community through all stages of life, providing quality health care, innovative rehabilitation therapies, and convenient access to specialists. It's the kind of care our patients should expect, the kind of care you deserve, the kind of care provided at Phillips County Health Systems.
Prairie Horizon Agri-Energy is now Amber Wave. We are transforming our existing facility in Phillipsburg to turn 20 million bushels of wheat into domestically produced wheat protein for use in the food and feed-related industries. This investment in the community will come together in the summer of 2023 and is expected to add 50 new jobs to the local community. Learn more at amberwaveusa.com. Amber Wave, vital, reliable, sustainable.
The American dream has changed over the years, but Farmers National Bank has not. This is Jean Ann Wagner. Farmers National Bank has been backing the American dream for over 100 years. Tell us what you'd like to accomplish, and we'll work with you to achieve it. As we celebrate 100 years, it's never been about us. It's always been about our customers and their successes. That's the American dream. We're Farmers National Bank in Phillipsburg, Agra, Logan, Kensington, Stockton, and Atwood, member FDIC.
What is My Phillips County Online?
It's your source for local news.
What is My Phillips County Online?
It's your source for local events.
What is My Phillips County Online?
It's your source for local sports information.
What is My Phillips County Online?
It's a local business directory.
What is My Phillips County Online?
The website that you're going to check out after this broadcast.
Protection is important, especially when you're talking about your dreams, which is why we're going to keep you covered with plans that can save you up to 23% when you bundle your home and auto. That's protection.
And back on the Tadpoll, Pete Rogers has joined us. And Pete, before we talk about a trip you're going to take, let's talk a little bit about what's happening. I've been hearing is COVID maybe ramping up a little bit in Phillips County?
It is. Again, it's kind of hard to get a good count, I guess. And that's good and bad, I guess. I mean, it's hard to keep everybody informed about where we're at with that, but also it means that folks are doing, if they're not feeling well, they're taking upon themselves to test and then taking the appropriate measures from there. And so definitely appreciate that and not, maybe trying to reduce the spread a little bit. But.
Well, okay. Now, because before everyone had to go through the health or the hospital or something, now they test and they just don't even let you know. So that's where that would be a little bit of a problem, I guess. And so it's a person's responsibility. It kind of falls on them to find out if it doesn't really.
It does. I guess probably the biggest questions we get or how we find out the most is folks will call and ask, what are the rules now and whatnot.
That's my next question. What are the rules now?
So if somebody tests positive, kind of where we're at now, or the last time I knew anyhow, and this is what I go by, but is you are supposed to isolate for 5 days, and then if you are symptom-free after that 5 days, then if you're going to be out in public, they ask you to wear a mask for another 5 days. So after that 10 days, then you should be released fully.
Sure.
So
Okay.
that's what the guidance we get.
Well, I know.
So.
I was close to someone. Early on, health department called me. So are you still? Of course, they're not. If they don't call you, you called me and said I had close contact.
Right.
You got a thermometer to me,
right.
And I had to. So, but you still do that if you have the close contact that you know about, or how do you handle that?
We don't. Most health departments across the state have gone to turning that over to the state and letting them manage that. For 2 years we really weren't able to do a whole lot but deal with COVID. Yeah. And so it was time for everybody to get back to the rest of public
what you
health.
Should be doing. Okay.
Sure, and so we turned that part over to the state, and that alleviated a lot of stress on everybody.
So, what if you've been close but not? What is it closest saying within?
So really, there's not really a whole lot about contacts anymore either.
Okay.
I mean, it's all about positive tests now. So now, obviously, if you're in close contact with somebody that has tested positive and you start to not feel well, then it might be you probably ought to take those appropriate steps. But I mean, that's with anything. If you're not feeling well, you should probably stay away from folks.
So if they've been tested now, can they? How they get tested?
Still, we do some testing there. Obviously, there's plenty of avenues. I was just at the pharmacy yesterday, and I happened to glance up and see that they have the tests there on the counter. So you can get them just about anywhere these days. But
about once a day on my email, I could get, and I did get some early. I don't think I ever used it because I never had anything.
Right.
Everything. So.
Right.
Wow.
That was a boom.
That was a boom, all right. Classes are changed. Okay. What about the boosters? Have you had anything new on the boosters?
So there is. So if you want to get a booster, you have to be at least 2 months out of your last shot.
Okay.
So after 2 months, then if you want to get a booster, you can. There is no more monovalent boosters. It's all that bivalent. So it treats for short-term COVID and long-term COVID. So there's 3 different brands of it that they're marketing or putting out there now: Moderna, the Pfizer, and the Novavax. We can't get the Novavax here for whatever reason. No. So obviously, if somebody's wanting to get that bivalent shot, then to call up the health department and talk to Amy.
So you have to have an appointment, right?
Yeah,
okay.
Right.
I was kind of confused on that. I didn't know. I know you can just come up for a test.
Sure.
Just come for a test, but you have to have an appointment to get the shot.
And we're still trying to do our best to be good stewards of the vaccine, and so if we open a vial, we like to try to use all of it.
And that makes sense. So we get to get everything. You have the Moderna for a while. Did you not have the Moderna for a while?
I can't remember whether it's the Pfizer we couldn't get or the Moderna we couldn't get. One of the two.
Said they couldn't get the Moderna.
That could have been it. But there was one that was lacking in there. But I talked to Amy this morning. She has Moderna and Pfizer on hand. And obviously we can't get the Novavax.
Okay. Well, has it ever been here though, the Novavax?
I don't believe we've ever gotten any here.
So that's not really a problem around here. Okay.
I mean, it's a. It's if you started with Pfizer, some people want to stay with the Pfizer. Sure. Some people don't care. If we started with Moderna, some want to stay with the Moderna, and I really don't think it probably matters. Probably not. No, it doesn't actually. Okay. I mean, if you can have whichever one you want, basically. Okay.
I've had all Moderna, but it's been 6 months since I had my, so I'm eligible. I just call and come in and get right. Do you see that? This is a tough question. But I'll ask it anyway. Do you see it a yearly thing like flu?
I would venture to guess that yes, it will become, if maybe even more often than yearly, if a person wants, and so I think it's down to so those folks who are compromised in some other fashion, certainly talk to your primary care provider and see if they think recommend it for you. But for the most part, the big tragic events from it have kind of curtailed a little bit. Right now, it's still a huge inconvenience to everyone, as with employers, or especially those folks who are dictated by Medicare and Medicaid, have to follow a certain amount of rules. And so when I say is it good that we don't get it all reported to us, maybe, I mean, that helps in that manner, but then it still is out there. And we haven't had a quote unquote death that has been attributed to it for quite some time. That's good. So I'm sure there is a lot, if you look at it statewide or across the United States. But
so if I've had my shots and everything, should I feel pretty safe then?
It's
a tough question.
You're right. It's down to the same thing as a flu shot, basically. And so when you get your flu shot, it doesn't mean you're not going to get the flu that year. I think we're about to maybe a quadrivalent type of a flu shot. So, they pick the 5 most common ones that's they think are gonna happen that year.
Wow.
And they vaccinate you for that, or give you a shot for that. And basically, COVID works the same way those shots do. So whenever you do something, an allergy shot, an immunization, whatever, it give you a small taste of it that isn't going to actually make you sick, but it helps you to build those natural antibodies to it. And so, I mean, if you hadn't had a big issue with it up to this point, then you probably won't. But that doesn't, there's all kinds of, there's always those one-off. So if I said it, by golly, it's not going to happen, there'll be something.
I know, that's always happened. How is the flu shot situation? Are there enough flu shots, and are people getting them? I've heard there's a lot more flu this year because of everything that's happened the last couple of years.
Well, I mean, obviously, with taking all the precautions and not exposing ourselves to anything, all those antibodies that you've built up over all those years pretty much wiped out in a year or two's time because you aren't exposed to anything of that nature. So yes, we still do have flu shots, to my knowledge. I did get some emails here a while back of some of our surrounding health departments that had some extra that they were looking to get rid of, and I don't think it was necessary for us to get on that. I know that this year, compared to last year's, we've given considerably more flu shots this year than we did last year. So is it going to be out there a little bit more? Probably so. And again, with whether you decide to get tested for it or not, if you're not feeling well, then it's probably one or the other.
No, we had you on, and I gave where you were around the community. You have quite a few people coming to the different towns.
We did, and I appreciate you doing that, because last year when we went around to all the communities, we had a few, but it wasn't a huge turnout. We spent a couple hours in each community. And this year it was a lot better, and so I do appreciate you putting that word out for us.
Okay, anything else? Then I'll talk about something else. Anything else for the health department?
Well, I don't believe so. I mean,
usual problem, not problem, maybe not be the right word. Usual situation, maybe.
Right. And on the EMS side of things, we have received a couple of grants from KDADS, which is the Kansas Department of Aging and Disability Services, for opioid recognition and Narcan out there. And so we were awarded a grant for Region 1 and Region 4. So Region 1 is, of course, where we're at. Region 4 is the group of counties to the east of us. And so here in the upcoming months, we'll be putting together some things where we'll come out to the schools, talk about opioid abuse and those sorts of things, and where they can find Narcan if they need it, and some of those types of things. So, and then treatment afterwards if necessary.
This Narcan, it's available, but I always think, why get it get to a position where you need it.
Well,
you know,
that's true.
I know that happens. You know, it's rampant.
It is.
But,
It's a
I see this. It's a problem. If you didn't have the problem, you wouldn't need the Narcan, right?
That's exactly
right.
That's
my own personal feeling on that. You know.
So if you know, obviously, and we do see more instances of substance abuse than we did prior to COVID.
Okay.
And so, I mean, it was out there, but it just wasn't as, we didn't encounter it as much. No. And so for a lot of this stuff, as far as opioid abuse goes in the Narcan, we want to make sure our first line responders have it available to them.
I understand that.
Because if you come upon an accident or something of that nature, and that something is laced with that carfentanil, that stuff can take a person out pretty quickly. And so we want to make sure that we're keeping our folks safe.
I understand that. Okay. But some places they have it available, you know, out to the public. Okay.
And that'll be what this whole program does, is to put it out there. And so it's to educate and then make it available to folks, and then make some treatment paths available to folks.
When you get that all set up, we'll have it and really talk about that.
Sure, absolutely.
Really good. Okay, one other thing, recent bridegroom, right?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, congratulations on that.
Well, thank you.
You're going to take a little trip.
We are.
Just share that.
Actually, getting ready to finish putting all of our stuff in the vehicle, and somewhere around noon or so, we'll take off for Kansas City, stay with my sister tonight, and then tomorrow we'll fly to New York. We'll spend Saturday in New York, and then
one Saturday. What are you going to do? You going to do anything?
I'm not sure yet. So it just matters what the weather's like and whether I want to wander around or not.
Well,
so.
go to, if you're there for a day, be sure you go to Times Square.
We're staying in Herald Square in a motel there. So
okay, that's good.
We won't be very far from any of that
Square
stuff.
is where Macy's is. It's right there, the Herald Square, and a lot of things, and then you'll fly out.
So then on Sunday we will board the ship, a Norwegian. I don't remember what Breakaway, I believe it is, and then for 2 weeks we'll be.
2 weeks you'll be
sailing.
Do you get seasick?
No, I haven't yet. Anyhow, so.
You're gonna one of those ships that has everything.
Yeah, they're pretty big. I mean, it's like somebody was asking me about the one that we went on here a while back, and I said, well, if you put it in perspective, you could fit every human being in Phillips County on that thing and still have room left over. So.
Wow, some of them. I've never been on one of those cruise ships. I couldn't get my wife ever interested in it. But anyway, well, I hope you enjoy New York.
We will. We will.
And have a good time there.
Yeah, we will.
And we appreciate you coming on.
Well, thank you.
Sharing everything.
You bet. You bet.
Trip, and we'll see you when you get back.
Okay.
I might mention also that coming up, if I can find it on here. Wreaths Across America Soup Luncheon fundraiser is coming up this Sunday at the American Legion in Agra. That'll be at 11. So that's a great program. So plan on being there 11 o'clock Sunday morning. Wreaths Across America Soup Luncheon fundraiser. And the Election Day pancake feed. Go there every Tuesday night, election night, 5 o'clock to the First Christian Church. We want to be sure that you're able to take care of that. So we'll be looking forward to that. Next week, as I mentioned, we have Kelsey Pickering on to talk about the veterans, Mary Smith, and we're going to have some other guests also. And we'll see you next Thursday morning, 9 o'clock, here on the Tadpoll.